Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Frozen Fortunes. Before we get going, and don't worry we do have a couple of bits of admin to take care of first. Pre-sale tickets for the FM Charity Cup match in Leamington in May are now finally on pre-sale. At the moment, there won't be any available on the door on the day, only in pre-sale currently. This is because the club kind of needs a rough idea of numbers so they can sort out stewarding on the day. If it reaches a certain point in pre-sales, then there will be available tickets on the day because they'll already have that sorted. So if you are interested in coming, you'll probably have to get a pre-sale ticket now because don't risk turning up on the day and not being able to get in, basically. But I'll put a link in the description to the ticket buying process. There'll be more information. I'm going to do a proper video about this in a week or so as well. Final bit of admin. Since it's Tuesday, it's time to thank new patrons for the week. And this week, it's Alaris. So thank you so much, mate. That is incredibly generous of you. You really do not have to do that. I'm now also, thanks to your generosity, guys, very, very close to getting a proper light for this because just looking at my little screen down here, it is not great. It's all lit from the back and it's just the best I can do. But because of the limited space, there's only a certain number of things I could get to actually go in there. But I should be getting one very, very soon. So that should at least increase the quality because that's what I'm trying to do, get better. Right. And you might be thinking, oh, good. He's going to sit there and talk for the next 10 minutes about the fixtures. Well, you'll be wrong. You're getting a reasonable amount of feedback recently about the amount of rambling I do before we actually get into anything useful when I go through the fixtures. And I think the reason for this is just because I used to do the highlight packages, and before that I used to show you highlights from the games back in the day. And I guess I always try to provide context, and sometimes I provide too much context, I think, because it doesn't matter what the players had for dinner before each game. It sort of just matters an overview. So I've added as much as I can to this screen, so there's any extra information you want. That's as most as I can get. There's no other things you can really add to it that are kind of important. So in future, what I might try and do, if you guys are up for it, is instead of rambling on for 8 minutes about the fixtures that we've played, I'll just go through them briefly in like a minute or two, and then maybe do double live comms in basically every single video, minus the first one of the season, just because we'll have more transfer stuff to talk about. So if that sounds good, do let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to try that out too, because I just want to give you guys more what you want, and more game footage, because after all, that's why we're really here. You're not here to see me talk about, oh, we lost 1-0 to Roskilde. We didn't actually. We lost 2-1, but that's not the point. Now, obviously, if something ridiculous happens, we're still going to talk about it. We'll just kind of be a bit more brief about what's kind of happened in the game so we can get going into the games as quickly as possible and gives more time to talk about things that aren't just the games, things about other players, showing you some stuff like that. Because at the moment, I think recently, it's just kind of been look at fixtures, tactics, match, goodbye. And I think we need a bit more than that in these videos to keep them interesting, to be honest. If we're going to be doing this for a long time, we need a little bit more, I think. So I appreciate that was a bit of a long intro, but I promise you that will be the last one ever. Well, unless something really bad happens. So, in the last episode, we lost 3-0 at home to Velia, which was not an excellent result by any stretch of the word. And then we had a very, very tough game away at Esbjerg in the next game. And I have to show you this. Well, not really show you, just point this out. We came back from 3-0 down away at the best team in this division. Alan Franson and Mikael Nygaard grabbing themselves a goal each, and then Franson got another one. We came back from 3-0 down against these guys, and in the space of like 12 minutes, I just threw it. We've done this twice this month, or in this period of games. The other one wasn't quite so successful, though. Amazing stuff. Really, really good. Next game, not so lucky against Freymad. We conceded 7 goals. We did take the lead in the game, but then they literally scored 3 set-piece goals from straight corners, one after the other in very, very quick succession. We found ourselves 4-1 down, pulled it back to 4-3, I think. We were certainly at 5-4 at one point, but then they just blew us out the water. Not great defending in this game, I gotta say. Then finally, we had ourselves another home game and a chance to sort of break this record because we've had a really bad run of games. Finally, we had one we were capable of winning, or so I thought, as we beat them. Well, we got a draw earlier in the season, and we did get the win against them. We came from behind. Franson's penalty, he scored another one, and 2 more from Mikael Nygaard. He's been excellent. They did get one back from Andreas Koch, but it wasn't enough for them, and that was excellent stuff. Next up was a pretty dull affair against Vidovre, but we did get the lead through Encarter, who scored a very similar goal to one he scored earlier in the season. Ball in, header, goal. And then Alan Franson scored a 92nd minute penalty. Against Marienlyst, who were below us in the league at the time, I thought we had a chance to get something away from home. Nope, they went 3-0 up in this game. And then we did what we did against Esbjerg. We came back and got ourselves back to 3-all with plenty of time to spare. The mistake I made was just keep continuing to push, and they grabbed one more and ended up taking it all away from us in the end, which was very disappointing to come from 3-0 down and still lose. But there you go. Next up was probably one of our best away performances of the season, despite losing in this one. We were very, very good against one of the better sides in this division, and frankly, on another day could have won. A brace for Alan Franson was cancelled out by goals from Mikael Lager and Jacob Den, so not quite good enough, but promising. Then we got a pretty routine win at home against Frem. Alan Franson, you can see, really starting to chalk up the goals again now. Braces galore for him. It's like a dentist office in here. Finally, and I was a little bit surprised at this one, despite them sliding down the league somewhat, that we managed to get such a convincing home win against Kurga, because they were not good. They didn't even deserve the goal that they did get. Nigar grabbed himself a brace, and Brendan O'Neill got one as well. More on him in a second. All of that leaves the league looking like this. Now, at one point, we were level on points with the relegation places, and it's still looking pretty tight, with Frem getting that win over Vidovre in yesterday. Vidovre are done and dusted, really. They're 9 points from safety. No hope for them to stay up. But we once again, we're 4 points above the drop zone, but we do have a game in hand against Frem. Admittedly, it's today, and it's going to be crazy difficult because, look, Roskilde have gone on a hell of a run and are now 4th in the league. So that defeat to them at home isn't looking quite so bad now. Both Franson and Nygaard are both in the top scoring stats, though. Nygaard with 14, Franson with 12. Franson also the top player in the league, has 8 assists as well. He's doing his thing again. Franson did come to me, though, and tell me that he wanted to leave to join a bigger club. And as you can see, people do want him. I think Viborg and Obro are both the teams. No one's put a bid in yet, but I have been forced to tell him because no one could convince him to, get rid of his unhappiness, that I'd accept a bid of £4,500 for him, because that's the lowest I could, or the highest I could get it to. So if that bid does come in, we might have to do a bit of wheeling and dealing. If it does happen, which it could happen over Christmas, I will try and set it up so that we hopefully get him back for on loan for 2 years or something, and 50% of the next sale clause and all of that sort of stuff, because I really don't want to lose Alan. I tried to offer him a new contract. He's not interested. We'll have to see how this one progresses. Something else that I didn't realise is that these prize money, they pay out every 11 games. So we got £104,000 for being in 9th spot at the end of the 11th game. And that means if we can keep getting there, we could get like 300 grand this year. It's going to be amazing. If we stay up, we're going to be rolling in the dough. Don't know what we'll do with it. Youth Academy, perhaps? Also, worth note with Oliver Betzer, still can't play for us, but I got an update which basically said that he had a potential to be a Superliga talent, which is the top flight. So that's the first time I've seen that. So I really am getting high hopes for this lad now. One other slight downside is that Einstein's left. He left to join Stjarnan on a free transfer. I thought because he was on a part-time contract that they couldn't just offer him a contract while he already have him with us, but apparently that's not how it works. I think there might be a limit to the amount that we have to pay a certain amount for it to count as an official contract or something. That's the only thing I can think of. And he wasn't one of the players that were on that. So we do have to be careful because there's some other clubs snooping around Brendan O'Neill now, and I don't want to lose him too. And finally, I was snooping through the Irish youth intake to try and sign any players. I don't think we got anyone of note. And I came across a guy, well, here he is. It's called Sunday Orji. So we had to try and sign him purely for that. Obviously, I didn't know what he was going to be like at the time, and he's not actually very good. Great teamwork, though, which will come in handy, and pretty solid stamina, too, so you never know. He's not very strong, though, so he'll have to be on the bottom. On another side note, Miguel Nygaard is in the Player of the Year vote, but Alan Franson isn't. And you can have more than one player from each team, so that's really strange, because, I mean, Nygaard's the top scorer in the league, but Franson's the best assister and the best average rating. Very strange. Hopefully Nygaard will win. That would be incredible for us. Now, I'm honestly not expecting a great deal from this game. It's always going to be a difficult one away, particularly at a team like Roskilde, but we're going to do our best. Now, one change I am going to make, Burja's form has been awful recently. So, with that in mind, we're going to start playing Brendan O'Neill, because he's got room to improve, and I want to start giving him some game time. He scored in a game relatively recently, actually, so I want to keep giving him game time, because Burja isn't going to get any better. This guy is, and we do need to try and prioritise players with potential. Another thing is Ingolfsson's going to get a lot more game time now that Einstein's gone. I'm trying to give Gunnarsson some more game time in the team as well, because Sepeo is only a lone player, and I don't want to piss off a player that's relatively good. In fact, what's this here? Give him more first-team football, so I do want to keep him pleased because he looks like a solid player as well. Now, this episode isn't a fair representation of what it's going to be like going forward, because obviously we're only doing one live comment. I did have a few extra bits of admin to take care of, but hopefully we can streamline things, because I just want to make the best content I can for you guys, essentially. Because if you're enjoying it, I'm enjoying it, and I bloody am. The save has been hella fun. Don't say that, Matt. Anyway, question of the day. And today's question of the day is this. Who is the best performer for the team that you support? So in my case, it's Fulham. It's very, very easy to say Ryan Sessegnon. Top scorer for the team. One of the best scorers in the league as well at 17 years old. And I would say that as well. But there's some other players in the team that are also bloody good performers. Kearney's really back in form lately. Tim Ream has been an absolute rock at the back. And Mitro, since he came in on loan, has been incredible. Anyway, best performer in the team that you support, let me know. And if you have any ideas for a comment, then let me know in the comments with the hashtag QOTD. Good save from Johnson. Right. They've already had a couple of long shots so far, so that's not ideal. Brendan O'Neill seems to have a bit of pace about him, although he is sort of lumbering up the pitch like a forklift truck at this point, so that's not really the best example of that. I thought they had a player called Kitten then. Christensen. Well won. Benson looks it. Ooh. O'Neill over the back for Franson. He's in here. Can he get a touch? Can he? Oh, what a save that is from Mikkelsen. Franson gets our first chance of the game. Excellent stuff. I've also been using a guy called Morten Lassen in our home tactic, just because We need more good players in the defence, and he's got some potential, so I figured why not put him in. Today, it makes more sense to use Gregerson and Campbell, though. Ball in, headed away. Ingolfsson, lots more game time from him this year now. Franson, O'Neill, squares it for Carter, and it's well saved again. I tell you what, the chances are coming. Not bad. Franson again, lobs it in for Nygaard, this time cleared away, but Ingolfsson will clear it up again. Knock it back outside for Franson. We need a good cross now, Alan. Ball in. Oh, not quite good enough for O'Neill. We've actually not started off too badly in this game. Despite being away from home, we've created a couple of chances. Good to see. Sorensen's ball in to nobody. Keeping ourselves above the water here in the relegation zone. Both the teams in the relegation zone have already played their match for this weekend. So any points we gain here will put us further clear of them. That's just how it's going to work. In case you're wondering, Frem did beat Vidovre in that game, which is why Vidovre are pretty much looking doomed at this point. But it looks like Frem or Marian... I mean, to be fair, there's any number of teams that could... Oh, dear, look at the space. Good Johnson again. Good save. Though we still have a 0 goal difference is what I'm actually quite proud of at this point. He's going to shoot. Well saved for Good Johnson. Okay, they're starting to get a bit more impressive now. We'll give it to sort of half an hour and see where we are regarding chance creation at the moment, because they are starting to turn the screw a little bit here, and I want to try and find a way out. Maybe going up to a bit more longer passing could be the key here. Borup over the top for O'Neill. He's not got the pace to get there. That's the kind of pass I want to see, though. Bit more of that. Ball, sir. Ball in. Oh, that was coming. It's been coming. I've got so used to losing this year that this has not come as much of a surprise. Still, we're 4 points clear, even if we lose this game. And I kind of had this one pegged as a potential loss, as these guys do seem like one of the better sides in the division now. They've gone on a bit of a mazy. It's a great ball in. Good finish. Keeper could do nothing about it. Right, we're going to have to do something here. I love that you can't change the instructions during the replay if you have it paused. Right, we're going to go to more direct passing for now. I might switch it on to attacking for the second half, as that's worked several times this month already. Like, genuinely, we got a 3-0 lead clawed back against Marian, at least, as we did against Esbjerg as well. So it's definitely doable. And if it's only... Oh, there you go. Kurgan are beating Skiva, which doesn't really help us in a way. If anything, it just drags another team into the mix. The pressure is really starting to mount now. We've not had a highlight in quite some time that was for anything other than them putting massive pressure on us. Here we go. Nope. Nothing. Kurgan 2-0 up against Skiva. We're still only 1-0 down here. One little... That's Why is O'Neill not actually making those runs? Every time that ball is played into the channel, particularly on that occasion, he could have really got himself in there and had a chance. That's very strange. The only thing I can think of is that the centre-back is actually doing his job and holding him up quite gallantly. Oh, he's gone through. He's going to shoot, though. There we go. Wide again. Clinton has picked up a knock, so they're playing with 10 men briefly, which might give us a shot. We could just get the ball back off them, which is not going to be allowed to happen, is it? Larson. Sorensen. Christensen. Just go with the long ranger. You know you want to. There we go. More of that, please. Right, half-time, things are not exactly going great. Who's playing badly? No one's playing, like, amazingly badly. The strikers aren't really having much luck so far. Let's go and express... Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. Let's go and express ourselves a bit. I'm also going to go to attacking, because I just don't see another way around this. Pass into space. Be more attacking. I don't want to close them down anymore, but... Because they're actually... Let's try it. I kind of feel like if we do that, though, it might get to the point where they're dragging us out of position a bit more. And I think kind of one of the strengths of what we're doing at this tactic at the moment is the fact that they are being forced to shoot from range more because they're not getting in behind like they want to. So I might turn that off if after like 15 minutes I notice that they're starting to find more gaps. Possession-wise, we've been woeful. It's one of our worst possession performances this season, I think, in terms of just the sheer amount of it, or the lack of it, rather. I'm going to turn it back to closing down sometimes, just because I don't think that was working very well. Ooh, oh, and again, we're just not offering anything here, and I'm not really sure what to do at this point, other than just keep plugging away. It's still, while it's still only 1-0, this is about to be 2-0, though, I expect. That's unfortunate. Morton Nielsen, right, we might have to go to overload and make some substitutions now. It's worked for me a few times this year, and it does seem to be the last-ditch defence in these away games. So let's do this now. Let's make some subs. Oh. Because Nigor has been dreadful. We're going to get Bigelow on in the middle. Brendan O'Neill's actually been our best-performing player, practically, other than Gunnarsson. Borup, we can't really do much with him. And Carter's been woeful in the midfield. And Ingolfsson's not been much better either. We might get Torstensson in. And then we're also going to switch it to overload around about the 70th minute as well, just to give him a chance to settle into the game. Not that that makes much difference. Franson, though. Oh, Maddie and List are losing. So that's going to help us. We're going to move it to overload, but I'm also going to turn the freedom of movement off of stick to positions, so we're a bit more fluid when we're attacking, ideally, just to see if that will make any difference. Gunnarsson, he needs to go long here. And O'Neill has just... Considering his rating is better than everyone else's, I'm not sure where he's getting that rating from, because every time I've seen him in today's game, he's been being blocked off by their defender and getting nowhere near the goal. Sorensen's ball in. Campbell. There we go. Good clearance. Right, Brennan O'Neill, win your header. Oh my god. Even when we get like a 3-on-3, they're just not good enough in the air. That's an area of our team where we've never been that strong, other than Luke Campbell, is just winning stuff in the air. Muller, look at the space in behind now for Sorensen. Probably pick this up. Oh, headed wide. They've been thoroughly better than us and deserve the win. There's a real golfing class in the teams in this division. There's sort of 5 or 6 at the top who are really, really difficult to get anything from, and a few teams beneath them are the ones that we've really got a chance of getting points against. Bigler's Inho. Oh, Rasmus. I think that's due to the overload, though. That's one of the annoying things about doing the overload, is often they tend to spurn their chances when they do get them. Diamosa into the channel for Brennan O'Neill. Can we get something back late on? Ball in. Bigler. O'Neill! Oh, I thought there was going to be a penalty or something there. Not the best opportunity for O'Neill. Although he has still earned himself a 7 rating in this game. Now a 6. I don't know how, but he has. And this one looks like it is going to be 2-0 to Roskilde. And how have Marian least equalised? Oh, Gregersson's injured. That's not good. Then again, he's got the whole of the Christmas period. Oh, thank God they've conceded. Yeah, he's got the whole Christmas period to recover from that. And I think that's going to be it for us. Yeah? Not great, frankly. Pretty dreadful, but that's really all you can try and do against these sort of sides. They're a good side. We aren't. He's made 4 key passes, so... Oh, a pulled groin. That's not great. So after that, the league table looks like this. We do finally have a minus goal difference. 23 points from 19 games is certainly nothing to be sniffed at. We're 4 points above the drop zone. We've got 2 teams between us and it. It looks like from Skiva downwards, that's kind of the relegation battle. I'd say Fremad and everyone above that are pretty much safe. Vidovra are done, but there's like 5 teams, Frem to Skiva, who are all in that relegation battle, and it just depends on where the fixtures fall. It might be very interesting to see where that last round of fixtures fall, because obviously there's going to be a disproportionate number of away games to home games against certain sides, so it should be interesting there. We did get paid 10 grand for that game, though, so that's going to help the kitty, if nothing else. Right, so in the next episode, obviously we've got the huge Christmas period, and we won't be coming back till the 8th of March, but we're going to do a double live com like we always do, against Vendsyssel and Esbjerg. So they're 2 home games, but they're 2 home games against 2nd place and 5th place. Going to be very difficult, but if we take any points from those games, it would be a bonus for us, so that's important. We might not even have the youth intake in the next episode. It just depends when it falls. It's usually early March kind of time, but it does vary. So that's what we'll be doing in the next episode. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have, drop a like on the video. That'd be really, really cool. And let me know what you think about the idea of double live comms in every single video. And if you're new to the channel and like what you saw, do hit that subscribe button. That'd be amazing as well. New videos every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And I'll see you guys in the next episode for a double home game against some difficult sides. But you never know what we're capable of at home. We actually won our last 4 home games on the bounce. The away record seems to have gone to shit, though. So, you know. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.